I just got back from a very good run. It is the 18th of August, and I've had all of summer to garden here in the UK. Let me take you through the garden and show you a few mistakes that I made and a few things that I'm incredibly proud of. First things first, I have to put on the garden shoes with the compulsory socks as well. Okay, so the first thing I wasn't super proud of was not netting my brassicas. Okay, I would have had a much nicer plant had I actually netted my brassicas, because I had to cut them all back thanks to caterpillars. They ate most of my plant. I had to cut them all back. And then I still didn't net it, and I had to spend a good portion of an afternoon getting rid of all the caterpillar eggs on them. So now I finally netted them. It's not the perfect solution. As you can see, like, it needs to be tightened quite a bit, and I don't have the right thing to tighten it with, but you know, here we are. So the other thing that I definitely made a mistake with was planting beets. So these are golden beets, and I did not have deep enough soil. This is going to be a recurring theme. So what happened was they grew very quickly, and the top stuck out and they didn't develop properly. Some of it still developed, and I guess you could still eat it, but you know, it didn't develop properly, and it also wasn't able to drain properly. So when you're filling up your containers, make sure you fill it up quite high up, so that you have, when the soil inevitably like sinks down and compacts a little bit, it still has space at the top. Okay, so the next thing that I'm not very happy with is I put two different pumpkin plants into one of these grow bags. I would say it would be better to have one pumpkin plant per grow bag. Now, it's not the end of the world, but pumpkins do require a lot of resources and a lot of space, and I did not do that here. I didn't think about that. And then when they started growing, and I thought, oh my word, this is not enough space for them. And it's too late now. I do not have the confidence to try and untangle the web of roots in this grow bag. As you can see, this one is doing quite well. This is the Tahiti pumpkin. So that one's doing quite well, but that one is also with a second one over there. Not very happy about that. Another definite mistake I made, besides not filling up this container all the way to the top, was planting too many tomato plants per container. This meant that they were basically fighting for resources, and even though I do have some nice tomato plants, they're not getting very big, and definitely not as many as I could have gotten if I had just planted, say, 3 per container. This isn't a very big container as well. Another definite mistake I made was not companion planting, or companion planting too late. I tried to add in basil, which was eaten by something, but it's starting to grow again. But I should have definitely added it in earlier, and these are some little lettuce as well that I figured out I can plant a little bit later. But as you'll see with all of my containers, I did not adequately, I didn't fill them up enough. Definitely not. And if you look at the side of this, here's my hand for scale, there's definitely not enough room for the roots to really thrive in here. So it's definitely a mistake I made. Okay, next let's talk about a few things that I did do very well and that I am very happy about in the garden. So I planted all my potatoes in grow bags. These were like the first proper grow bags I got. I think I got them all off Amazon. They were relatively cheap. There's just an old compost bag that I stuck holes in and then filled with my seed potatoes. I did this in the spring and it worked out very well. I was able to move the potatoes around because we don't have a lot of space, and we are a rental property, so I can't exactly dig things up. So the grow bags offered me a ton of flexibility. These potatoes, as you can see, are absolutely thriving. They are my Christmas potatoes. I think they're Maris potatoes. I can't remember, but they're doing very well. As you can see, they're like on the border between me and my neighbor. Very, very well. I'm very proud of them. So the next thing I was super happy with was buying this blueberry bush in the dead of winter when it was absolutely dirt cheap. It cost me next to nothing. It did not look like much, but I left it all outside all winter because it said it was hardy. And then in spring, when it started to grow leaves and started looking alive, I potted it out into a bigger pot. And I'm incredibly happy I did that. That's just lettuce that I stuck in there and it's doing quite well. That is some of the nicest lettuce. Oh, that's another thing I'm very happy about. I'm very proud of. Whenever we went to a garden, like a walled garden, I would buy some of their seeds. And this is, I can't remember the name now. It's a walled garden near Dufftown. If I remember the name, I'll let you know. But this is the nicest lettuce. I mean, look at this color. It just does not, you can't get this lettuce in stores. So just back to the blueberry bush, one thing I definitely am going to do before winter is I will cover it with some more compost right up to the edge there. This is just to support its leaves, its branches, because it was really popping off. I will fill up the compost to the top and then mulch it, and then it will overwinter quite well. And then in winter I'm going to get another blueberry bush so that they can cross pollinate. I will definitely put that blueberry bush in a larger pot because these really grow like mad. So that's basically it. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about my garden. I made a ton of mistakes. Although I only started on a whim gardening, really getting into veg gardening around February, March. I was itching to get outside, and I'm extremely glad that I did because it's given me the most amazing hobby. What I love about gardening is it's so low stakes. I can go with the purpose to plant my broccoli, or I can just potter around all afternoon, cutting here or there, neatening up everywhere. And Zuri is joining us. Hello. Okay, and it's honestly it's the best decision I made this year, but also came with a lot of things that I'm going to be doing differently next year. So that's my garden. Bearing in mind that we are going into autumn soon, so I will be starting some autumn planting as well. But the gardening season, the busy season, is winding down. I'm gonna switch off now because Zuri's panting really loudly from our run. She did so well. Bye.